To be honest, I'm Giannis inside of game 6. Dropping 50 and dunking over your main. Earnhardt Jr. when I'm deciding the lane switch. Tell them people that I'm on top of the game. Manifested my future by spewing all of my pain. Carried my own umbrella, surviving treacherous rain. Landed on higher learner, matriculating the bigger earners. Switch after dark helps you to find your purpose. And find what work is, and find the surface. When deeper in it, I'm heavy with ashes, burning curses. Built up our name so forever we reign, and us we working. Ain't tripping off your affiliation, we welcome verses. In lieu of playing, we saying our way to sign a merchant. Then personal seats in the meet and greets with our favorite person. Link with DG, he the chief, for KC, we do it right. Switch after dark from the mic to your heart to Hollywood.
Hey, what's going on? Sports After Dark, After Hours. Welcome to the club. Welcome, folks. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm Ashley Baker. Got my guy C-Lou here. DG, Young Heavy will be in the building with especially some technical difficulties. Right. This world want to be so technologicalized and whatever that word is.
So what?
Technologicalized. Let's see, we got them. All right, what we looking like, Have? What we looking like?
Gonna see what he do.
All right, listen. This world is so weird. You know what I'm saying? That technology is supposed to be a big thing. And then when we need it, that joint don't be coming through for us. But we appreciate y'all for tapping in. Again, got my guy Lou, Have, y'all back. DG in the building. DG is joining us. You know what I'm saying? Because his Kansas City Chiefs are once again headed back to the Super Bowl. Wow, like what?
Yeah.
Oh,
4 out of 5 years, man. How sweet it is.
We got some stuff to talk about. But before we jump into that, guys, we got to pay some bills. We appreciate y'all again for being tapped in. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. You're on Twitter. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure that you go and follow the page and join the community. If you're watching on Instagram, we appreciate y'all for tapping in. You know what? You're not watching on Instagram yet, but guess what? I'm gonna go live on Instagram. I just went live on Instagram. So you watching on Instagram live? That was crazy, right?
Are we on Instagram live? What?
Yeah, you're late.
Oh, I'm late. Yeah, I'm late to the party, man.
3 episodes. My God, help us. Make sure that you follow the Instagram page, guys. So we appreciate y'all for tapping in. Go and grab some merch. Our guy Lou does great work with the merchandise. He got his hat on, his Sports After Dark hat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look, you know, me and Hev was out of town. He rocked his Sports After Dark hoodie to the airport. You know what I'm saying? We trying to go global, folks. So make sure that you get a hoodie, get a hat, get a shirt, get a mug, and we got some more dope merch coming your way. So make sure that y'all are tapped into that. If you're going to any basketball games, going to the Super Bowl, are they selling like Super Bowl tickets on SeatGeek? I would assume so. If they are, you can get $20 off of the $8,000 ticket. Maybe at that point it's only, you know what I'm saying, $7,980. Do what you got to do. Save whatever money that you can save going to the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl stage is set, fellas. My goodness. Rematch from what, 2019? Yeah. We got the San Francisco 49ers facing off against the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think I, for one, did not expect this again. DG is just loving this. He just pisses me off, man. He just so bad.
I love that you hate this matchup so much.
She's loving this, man. And of course, you know, Hev is just so happy to be back. You know, the Niners are back. Lou, we sit on the outside. You know.
Hey, listen, man, we'll be back.
Well, at least you can say that with confidence. I can't. But
hey, Jerry said he going all in, didn't he?
Yeah, he said he cashing all in this year.
Man, Jerry can go to hell. Listen, let me tell you something. If you could give me one word to describe this championship weekend, what would it be?
Sensational.
Annoying.
Sensational.
Annoying.
I'll say exciting.
Okay.
I'll say schematic for sure.
Schematic? Oh, dramatic. I'm about to say, what the hell? Schematic.
No, he said schematic.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I thought just, you know, both teams kind of schemes or whatever, you know, prevailed at some point. Niners offense, Kyle Shanahan calling plays, and then Spags on our side with the defense, drawing up a great game plan. So
annoying for me because I cannot believe that the Ravens folded the way that they folded, bro. Like You gotta be kidding me. Like, I was just no, seriously, y'all wasn't looking at that game at some point. Maybe not you, DG, but come on, y'all wasn't looking at the game at one point. It was like, what?
I was.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this can't be the same Ravens we saw all season.
I was more so like, what the hell are they doing?
That's what I'm saying.
I just knew it gave off like the stage was too big. You know what I mean? The stage was giving off like the stage was too big. Like, it was plays where Lamar should have ran and he didn't. It just was like the stage might be a little too big for him because the pressure was on Lamar. And we talked about it last week that the pressure was on the Ravens. It was on them. It was on Lamar. It was on him. It wasn't on Mahomes and them. That was a regular season game for them. They used to be in there. But for the Ravens being the best team in the league the whole year, the number one seed, and Lamar getting MVP, all the pressure was on them. And I just was like, I said, Fiambe, I told you during the week, Fiambe, I said the Chiefs going to beat these dudes. They're going to beat them. They're going to beat them.
Hey, Young, what did we say? We said pressure burst pipes and make diamonds, right?
Yeah.
For sure. And
we also said that how Lamar lost that game was going to be big. Like, if he lost, you know what I'm saying? Would it be like a stain on his legacy? And that was going to be depending on how he lost. So we're going to go back to that. We're obviously we got 2 weeks to preview Super Bowl. So that is not what we are doing tonight, folks. We are taking it back in time to the championship Sunday, you know, only about a day ago, day and a half ago, championship Sunday, because we got to talk about what we saw, man. Talk about some of our predictions and the things that we kind of called. You know what I'm saying? That better not happen, that actually end up happening and ended up costing some teams their games, man. So let's jump into it. So listen, check this out. Like I said, like, subscribe, and share the YouTube channel. As I mentioned, the stage is set. Chiefs and Niners in the Super Bowl in Vegas. What a collapse for the Ravens, man. This was just, how big of a collapse was this for the Ravens? I know I'm at a loss for words, because for me, it seems like, and I've said this before, everybody forgets how to play football when they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't get it. I don't understand it. You go away from completely what happened. I don't know if it was a coordinated thing. I don't know if it was a John Harbaugh thing. You know what I'm saying? A Lamar Jackson thing. God, dog, poor Zay Flowers thing. For the sake of this season, for the sake of their roster, for the sake of just moving forward, how big of a collapse was this for the Ravens? Would y'all say? Anybody can jump in.
Let our DJ go first, man. He normally ain't on here. Let our DJ go first.
I mean, I don't know if I want to call it a collapse. To me, it was just more of, maybe it's just too much, you know. Like, before the game, the chippiness and the kind of antics, you know, Justin Tucker with the down on, you know, the goal line, which I get, like, that's how you usually warm up, you know, I understand, but like, just the kind of going back and forth, and then seeing, like, I think one of their DBs was talking to our DBs and got into it and whatever. I could just kind of tell pregame, like, sensing Lamar's body language and things of that nature. Like, it was a lot. They were nervous. Like, and we kind of told their fans that, you know, before they, you know, in spaces before the game, that, like, it's their first time being there. We had experience in being in this game. Most of our young guys, especially from last year, had experience in being in this game. So, like, we just like, how are they going to handle that pressure? You know, it's to me, it's more pressure when you play at home versus when you're on the road, just because, you know, you got to protect home court. You got to protect home field, you know. And I just felt like the pressure was just too much. The lights were too much. You could kind of just sense it from their leader, from Lamar, you know, the kind of the way he was pregame. Just, I didn't feel that confident energy there from him, you know, and it just kind of trickled over into the game, I feel like, especially to the coaching staff and all that. So,
y'all felt like that was scary?
I don't know
if I got like scary energy.
I'm not saying like they were scared of us or anything. Like,
no. I know what you mean. I mean, like, of the moment.
Yeah.
You talking about of the moment?
Yeah, the moment.
What would you say, Have?
I just felt like the lights were too big. They were playing like the lights were too big. Like DG said, they were home, AFC Championship game. Like the pressure was on them to deliver at the crib.
Yeah.
And you got held to 7 points at the crib.
That was a hell of a showing by your defense, by the way.
Huh?
That was a hell of a showing by y'all defense, by the way. If I wasn't convinced before, that convinced me.
Yeah,
holding them to 7 points. And to be honest, in the second half, the Ravens defense was impressive as well. It's just that their offense couldn't get going. Go ahead, Lou.
Oh no, I was gonna say like it really both defenses, like that was a defensive game. Like that was just straight up defensive game. But I said this in the spaces the other day where it's like Patty knew what he had to do. He had to go out there, be a game changer in the first half. Second half, all he had to do was manage the game because he knew what his defense was going to do. You got 17 points, you got a 10-point lead. He was like, all right, that's all we need. Let me just go manage this thing, not turn the ball over, and get the first downs when we need them, and we go from there. We move. But I mean, I agree with DG. I think the moment was a little too big. Like we said last week, or like we said, earlier, Sunday before the games. Pressure burst pipes and make diamonds, and we was going to see what happened to the Ravens in that moment, and it burst pipes, especially on that offense. I can't necessarily say that about the defense because the defense showed up. Kyle Hamilton, he looked like a star. Like Kyle Hamilton looked like the star that he's supposed to be. But like that offense, Todd Monken, I don't understand because he's been in championship games. Granted it's college or whatever, but you've been there. You know what a championship is. You've been in those games, and for him to call that game like he was scary, there's no way Lamar should have been dropping back, throwing the ball 37 times. And your running backs, your two running backs have 6 total attempts combined. Like each of the running backs had 3 attempts, and then Zay Flowers had 2. Like there's no reason for that. And there was moments where Lamar should have ran, and he didn't run. The throw into triple coverage, I understand everybody wants to say, oh, it was a PI, it's a PI. Bro, you don't throw that ball, period.
Could have never thrown that.
And even if you do, because Likely did have a step, right? Like Likely did have a step, but you underthrew the ball at that. Like you underthrew the ball. You throw that, if you're gonna throw that ball, you make sure the only person that get that is Isaiah Likely. It gotta be high and towards the back of the end zone, not short. If you're gonna throw that, but you don't throw that, bro. There's no reason to throw that right there.
Is that Pam?
It's Pam.
Yeah, that's her.
Pam said, listen, y'all, the Chiefs defense dictated the coverage.
I think probably to a certain extent, but like Lou said, the Ravens not running the ball didn't help the cause either.
Because I was going to say this too, like when you go back and you look at the all 22 or just look at the game and look how they played defense, they didn't play with a lot of linebackers. They had what was it, Bolton? That was y'all linebacker that game? Because I know, or Willie Gay was the one that was hurt, right?
Yeah, Willie was out.
Yeah, so Bolton was pretty much the lone linebacker out there, and they would drop 6 DBs out there. Tranquil would play like that safety, that box safety type role. Eric Reed would come down. Not Eric Reed, but his brother Reed would come down. He would come down and into the box sometimes. But they played with a lot of DBs, and they was telling the Ravens run the damn ball.
For sure.
And the Ravens said, nah, we just gonna throw that thing. And I'm like, this is stupid as hell. And then Zay Flowers, or his stupid stuff, but yeah.
Is that Mariah 49er faithfully pod?
Yeah.
Mariah.
That's Mariah, yeah.
6 attempts. 6 attempts is nasty as hell. So I didn't know that. I didn't even pay attention. I knew that they had abandoned the run, but I didn't know it was 6 attempts. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't.
Altogether, I think outside of Lamar scrambling, I think they had a total of about 10 attempts rushing.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And y'all have preached all this entire season on this show how you're not going to win playoff games without a run game. You're just not going to. You cannot think that that's a possibility. And again, I am all for that's just another dimension. Running the ball sets up. You know what I'm saying? The passing game. And if we know that, I don't understand why coaches abandon it so quickly. So for me, I don't know. I don't know. This was a collapse because, first of all, not too much on Zay Flowers. Listen.
Nah, he's a rookie.
He made some rookie mistakes. And like I said in my tweet, I think my biggest concern is why weren't they looking for veteran presence in that game? Where the hell was OBJ? Where the hell was Mark Andrews? So I'm literally listing the veteran players in those two spots where Isaiah likely struggled because of the coverage. Where was Mark Andrews? Zay Flowers struggled a couple times. Where was Odell? You know what I'm saying? Like, you need that in those kinds of games. So I was just really confused. Like, I think I asked, this may have been like fourth quarter, like, is Odell playing? And then right after that, he caught a pass. And I'm like, but where the hell was he all game? Like,
and that's the thing.
If don't no game show y'all that OBJ is washed, that game should have shown.
No, that game shouldn't show that. That game shouldn't show. No,
Why?
because if you go back and watch the game, there's people open. Lamar is the one. This is why I said. This is why we said.
He was open on that interception. Bateman, the interception Lamar threw to likely OBJ was open.
Yes,
if you look at the film, Lamar was hesitant a lot. Like, yes. I don't know, he held onto the ball a lot. I just think that the pressure.
Some lights was a little bright.
I think it got it too.
But no,
it's lights was a little bright.
That thing with Lamar ain't pressure. This is one of the things I've said about Lamar. I love Lamar, but Lamar still struggles with trusting what he sees and throwing his receivers open. He waits till they get college open rather than NFL open. It's a difference. Sure. College open, you wide ass
open.
It's
a complete difference. NFL from college open than NFL open.
You got to have ball placement there.
That's like, a fact.
And like the interception, Odell came open on the dig route. He came open on the dig route, but Lamar threw it down.
Lamar went all the way down the field, and you ain't even had to do that.
There's plays where Bateman was open. Lamar going elsewhere, like that or he taking a sack or fumbling or something like that. Like there's Lamar didn't play a good game.
Let's keep it a bean. How much of this game are y'all putting on Lamar, percentage wise? Let's throw
a lot of it.
I'm gonna be honestly, I'm gonna put like 70% of it on Lamar.
Yeah.
And I'll put the other 30 on coaching.
For me, I'm going 40 on Lamar, 50 on Monk, or 40 on Lamar, 40 on Monken, and 20% on John Harbaugh.
I'm putting Monken and Harbaugh together in that 30% in mine. 70 is Lamar.
Coaching, just coaching in general.
Coaching together, they got that 30% for sure.
Yeah. This is what we talked about before the game started. We talked about, and I'm not trying to be super saver player, but we talked about.
There you go.
I'm not. All I said was that we talked about this. We talked about, okay, this is his first time with those bright lights. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he learns from this. Like, come on, man. Like, I understand that you're getting paid, like, but still, like, the lights may have been. Okay, so Lou, you said that he struggles with trusting what he sees and trusting his reads or whatever.
Yeah.
So who do they bring in for this? As a matter of fact, was this like the best shot at a Super Bowl for Lamar Jackson? Or do y'all feel like that, if he bring some help, they bring some help in, teach him how to trust those
Lamar
things.
Lamar need to go out.
Get there again. Or
he need to go out, talk to Brady, talk to Peyton, something. Like, he needs to go out and talk to some of these guys as these guys. Like, he needs to go out there and figure it out with them. Yeah, like that's what needs to happen. I mean, I don't know if he does or not, but I think that's what he needs to do. Like, he needs to be talking to some of them. We are giving the Chiefs DBs credit, but at the same time, Lamar messed up to whoever GO is. But we give the Chiefs DBs credit. But Lamar, like, people was open. Like, receivers were open.
People were open. I agree with you, Lou. I think he has to talk to either like Brady, Peyton. He need to have one of them as like a mentor. You know what I mean? In his background, in his ear, to help him out in those situations. Was this his best shot? I mean, if they can keep talent around Lamar, they'll have a chance. But I mean, that's a tricky question because Burrow was hurt. You know what I'm saying? You got Kansas City that's always going to be there. The Chargers are going to make some noise now with Jim Harbaugh. I ain't saying the Chargers going to win. They going to the Super Bowl next year, but they going to make some noise with Jim Harbaugh. That's a tough question. I'll say yeah. That was his best shot at winning the Super Bowl. Was this year?
I agree.
Bro,
the AFC. The AFC
they gotta
ain't
beat
doing
y'all, bro. They gotta beat y'all. And if you can't get past 15, what you gonna do?
The AFC ain't doing nothing but getting better. You got all these young quarterbacks: CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson. Even with Aaron Rodgers next year, the Jets might be. They probably gonna be better. Yeah. Josh Allen's still there. Joe Burrow coming back. The Browns may be whatever they gonna be. Like it's tough.
Yeah,
it's gonna. I feel like this was their best chance. It was their best chance to beat Kansas City.
This year was a gauntlet. Next year is gonna be a gauntlet for sure.
G says, Sucker Free G, what up? G says, Lamar and MVP, man, he's supposed to show up. I will say this. I'm piggybacking off what you said, Shooter, because I'm not going to count the Ravens out of that possibility. You get to the playoffs, it's a ball game. And I don't care how tough the AFC seems it's going to be next year. I don't see the Ravens missing the playoffs next year, especially if they can find a way to retain the core of what they had from this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may get easy, it may get a little harder, but are they going to find a way to retain their defense? Because their defense is always going to find a way to keep them in.
They got some people that's free. They got some free agents though. They got some people that's free agents.
They got a lot of people that got to pay.
They got to pay, yeah.
I like the possibility of some folks thinking about the possibility of a pay cut or just taking less money to stay around. You know what I'm saying? And trying to run it back. I like that possibility too. So
but what if you can go to a team and still get a bag?
I don't know.
Hold on, because what if you can go to a team that's going to be a contending team and get a bag?
Like the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Chiefs got cap space.
The Chiefs got cap space. And they got cap space.
The Chiefs got cap space. We just saw what the Texans did. And what DeMeco Ryans is doing with that defense over there, they got a ton of money. The Colts got a ton of money. There's a lot of teams that got some. I'm not saying the Commanders going to be contenders, but they got bread. Like, they got a ton of money to just throw around.
I think that at the end of the day, y'all paid that man to do a job, but you also paid him for y'all to do a job, which is keep talent around him. So I don't think that they're going to like just not be in the conversation. Again, you get to the playoffs, it's a ball game, and I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs. So I don't think that this was the best shot. I think that this was a great shot because of the team they had, because how they was rolling. I think that he'll have another shot again at this. Hey, maybe the AFC has an up year this year, and then maybe the year after that it's a low year, it's a down year again for the AFC. I don't know, but I will agree with Jaja. It's definitely gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. DJ, you think this was the best shot at Lamar before?
I mean, it's always tough to duplicate what you did the previous year. You just because you got to factor so many things into it: free agency, injuries. You know, you don't know what's gonna happen. It's all unpredictable. But I think, man, as long as they got 8 behind center, they're always gonna be a contender. They're always gonna be in it. He's just that dynamic. I think for him, it's just gonna take to grow that maturation process for him. It's something that I seen Patrick Mahomes have to do after his MVP year, his first year starting for us. He couldn't read defenses like that, you know. And now I feel like Patrick Mahomes is one of the most cerebral quarterbacks in the league now. You know, it's more of a mental game for 15 when he's out there. So I think if Lamar can kind of take some mentorship, you know, get some advice, maybe even become more of a film rat than ever, you know, I think that they always got a shot as long as he's there. So, but I wouldn't never count him out or anything like that. But it's definitely tough. It's always tough to get back.
I think I agree with y'all as far as getting some type of mentorship. I don't think that he's like mentally soft or anything like that, or mentally weak. Like he's not that. I've been seeing some of that stuff float around on social, of course.
I don't think
he's mentally weak, and And coincidentally, guess who it was coming from? Ravens fans. That's all.
The way they've been.
It was coming from Ravens fans saying that. It was coming from Ravens fans saying that.
Talking about Lamar?
Yes, that he mentally weak, that he needs some help. You know what I'm saying? To not be so, shook in these moments.
Calling him soft, calling him a running back.
For sure.
One of their fans in our spaces said they should trade him.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Was that Z-Farm?
No, it was some other dude. I don't know who he was.
Z-Farm be ready to empty the clip when the Ravens lose, dog. He be ready to get rid of everybody.
And one thing I noticed that Lou said, and it's a very valid point. When they win, John Harbaugh gets zero credit. But when they lose, it's all his fault.
Bro, and then Ravens fans were telling me like, "Oh, that's not true," like whatever. And I'm like, bro, some of y'all have been in spaces with me, and we've heard Ravens fans blame him for everything. And then when they win, everybody else gets credit for it. Like y'all win in spite of John Harbaugh. Like what?
If I could quote the great Billy Baker,
from
All-American, Billy Baker said that he rest in peace to Big Billy Baker. Billy Baker said that he's the coach. His job is to win games. Of course, when they lose, he gets the blame. That's the same thing with Harbaugh. It is what it is.
I'm saying if you're gonna give him my point was if you're gonna give him the blame for losing, cool. Make sure you give him the credit when you win.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it ain't all his fault when y'all lose. Like this game to me was not on John Harbaugh. I mean, I get it. Like he could have told Monken to run the ball or whatever, but you hire these people to do their job. You hire the offensive coordinator to do his damn job. We seen Monken, and this is the thing that kills me, right? We seen two teams this weekend. One should have went away from what they did in the regular season. The other one should have continued doing what they did in the regular season, and they didn't do it. It's like the moment just got there, and it was like, we're just gonna rock with what we doing.
So why not put so much of that blame, more of that blame on Todd Monken?
I do.
I'm talking about like Lou. I mean, I'm talking about you, Shooter, because you say
I said 30%. I said 30% was coaching. I think Lamar gets more to blame because of how Lamar played.
But see, I can also understand that too because they said Lamar has a lot of control over the offense.
Facts.
At this
I've
point
heard
now.
that too. That's true.
So if you got control, you check out some of them plays, bro.
Yeah,
like if you see the boxes light, why you sitting out there trying to throw the ball?
There were plays where he was dropping back and he had a clear lane to use.
That was another thing. He wasn't using his legs enough.
Bro, we yelling at the TV like run.
Yeah. And also there were times like where I don't think forget using his legs. There were times where he did run and the elusiveness that we talk about wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Or like that, that speed, like it was different, so maybe it was the moment, like y'all said. We'll see if they can put it together again next year. We got to go to the other side. We got to go to the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, back in the damn Super Bowl again on a down year. You know what I'm saying? I will say this, and I'm going to stand behind this. I don't think that this was a Mahomes game ball for me goes to the defense without a shadow of a doubt. They literally only allowed one score. You know what I'm saying? Like the second half, the Ravens defense kind of kept y'all in check, DG. You know what I'm saying? Which is why it pisses me off because obviously we know how much of a winnable game that was. The defense did its job in the second half, and the Ravens just could not get anything going.
Yeah.
Mahomes and Kelsey find themselves. Mahomes, Kelsey, and Taylor find themselves in the Super Bowl this year. I'm just, I'm trying to get in that same mind state that y'all are in, especially you, Shooter, with the don't bet against 15. Don't, don't bet against Mahomes. Same way it was with Brady. Like, you got to a point, be like, I'm just not betting against this dude. Like, I don't care. We talked about this before. I'm in that mind state, but I'm pissed because this wasn't that Mahomes type of game where he'll just dog walk you. And it's just like, without him, This one, it wasn't that kind of. Y'all had them on a down game for real, especially in the second quarter. I mean, the second half, y'all had them in a down game and they didn't take advantage. Is Mahomes officially the GOAT? Would y'all say that he's officially the GOAT? Can I start? Hell no. Hell no, he ain't the GOAT. You want to know why he ain't the GOAT? Because to be the GOAT, you got to beat the GOAT, damn it. And you didn't beat the GOAT 2 times, Mahomes, twice. I found myself being so, let me tell you something, DG. I'm having a good time. I'm in Colorado Springs. I'm having a good time. I found myself being very, very angry when y'all won that game because the more and more Mahomes wins, the more and more they, try to like put him in this Brady bubble. And everybody that knows me knows that Tom Brady is my guy all time, right? And then I had to sit and think to myself, they just need to stop putting Mahomes in the Tom Brady thing. He's in his own. He's just in his own thing. He's in his own, like, stop putting him in that. He's in his own thing because to be the best, you got to beat the best. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, Brady beat him twice. Like, he can say that. There's only one. Y'all wanted him to retire so bad, and now y'all mad that Patrick Mahomes going back. You know what I'm saying? He was the only man that could beat him. Joe Burrow got his number a little bit. He was the only man that could beat him.
Bro, stop saying that. Joe Burrow does not have that man's number. Lou Anarumo has that man's number.
Whatever. It don't matter.
Joe Burrow ain't beat that man.
If that's the case,
they said it. I did.
That's the case. Whoever was the defensive coordinator for the Patriots got Patrick Mahomes' number.
Yeah,
I will say
it ain't Brady.
To say to beat the GOAT, you got to be the GOAT. I don't know. I don't like that because Brady never played against Montana. Whoever said that makes very much sense.
But he's done way more than Montana has over his career.
He had. I will say this: Mahomes has a chance to do the same.
Yeah, but the thing is that they didn't have a chance to play each other. Mahomes and Brady did. So that's the conversation that I'm having. They played each other.
So hypothetically speaking, if Mahomes was to clear every accolade Brady has, he still wouldn't be the GOAT because he lost to Brady twice.
No, because he's not. No. How come that worked for everybody else, but it don't work for that situation?
That's not that. It doesn't work that way for everybody else because a lot of people call Jerry Rice the GOAT. Like,
Coach B, please. You so mad you're a Chargers fan. You stay over there in Chargers fan. He just cheated more. You're so angry.
Hollywood said it don't matter, Lucia.
You see what I'm saying?
I was talking about Joe. It's not talking about Joe Burrow.
You talking about Joe Burrow? You know Hollywood ain't taking no Joe Burrow.
She ain't taking no Joe Burrow slander, right?
She ain't taking no Burrow slander.
How is the take nuttier than a Snickers? I don't get it. First of all, that was a bar.
That was a bar.
That's crazy.
But first, it's not though. Like for real. Like
he's not the GOAT.
He's not the GOAT. No.
Yeah,
Let that man finish his career. Let that man finish his career.
Let that man finish his career.
Hold on. Let me say this, and I hate to say it. He's a GOAT. He is a GOAT. Like he is. But I'm saying like in a separate. Just his own thing. Like I've reached that point. Whatever, he's there.
I think
they can't beat him. DG, this is disgusting. Like you walk down Josh Allen, you walk down Lamar Jackson. Didn't he walk down Joe Burrow last year?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like these now, maybe Big Justin Herbert. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Big Justin Herbert can. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he got.
Hey, they always be in battles though. Like him and Justin always be in battles, but that's just in the division. You know,
these guys cannot beat this dude. You know what I'm saying? And now I know how Patriot haters felt because I didn't care. I wanted to see Tom Brady there every year, and now I'm like, oh my God! Now I know how they felt seeing the same person. You know, majority of America is voting for nobody. Actually, nobody wants y'all to win either. Shooter, I ain't gonna lie. They kind of wish their votes. People were devastated. They kind of wish their votes.
They got neutral. Everybody neutral in this.
Yeah,
everybody want them to end in a tie.
Nobody wants either team to. Nobody wants to hear either fan base gloat over. This is nasty work. This is a really bad position for all of us. Is your quarterback the GOAT, DG?
No, he's not. I feel like right now his legacy is still being built. There's still a lot of accomplishments that I feel like he can still reach. I know a lot of people would say like if he stopped playing now, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer, which I think he would be.
For sure.
But I look, man, when you're chasing greatness, you never stop chasing greatness. You know, you never stop trying to achieve more and
he's
more.
chasing Brady's greatness.
Yeah, Brady, we seen it all. Brady, Jordan, Kobe, they were all greedy. You know, they always wanted to win. They always wanted to be in these moments, play in these type of games, play in the big games. And I think that's definitely what Pat wants. I think for the kids that's, you know, say lose son and have sons and, you know, and your children or whatever, I think for their generation, they would probably one day look at him as the GOAT, just because that's who they grew up watching. For me, it's always gonna be
Brady is Jordan and Mahomes is LeBron.
Yeah, I guess in comparison, you could put
as far as like GOAT combo, because they don't put Steph there for some reason. They won't put Steph there, but
I see what DG is saying. I can agree to that, GG, because I used to have that little situation between Montana and Brady, and I'm like, I seen a little bit of Montana, but I watched Brady's whole career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like that's why I can see where you're going with that. I won't say Mahomes is the GOAT right now. However, you know, I just told you, Shooter, you got to embrace it. He's in that tier where you have to embrace it. It first started with me with the division, how Brady always dominated the AFC East. Mahomes always dominates the AFC West. Then it's like, damn, Mahomes is nothing less than the AFC title game. You gonna meet him there, whether if you going to Kansas City or he coming to you. He has put himself in a tier where if you want to make the Super Bowl, you got to go through him. Hell, he has put himself in the tier now. If you want to win the Super Bowl, you probably got to play him. That's where it is now. And Brady was the same way. You wanted to win a chip, they were a part of it. And I'm not gonna say he's a GOAT. If they do beat us, that conversation is gonna get even louder. I'm letting you know that conversation is gonna get very loud if he wins this one, because they're gonna talk about the weapons that he didn't have. He only had Travis Kelce. They had a roller coaster up and down here. Mind you, they won all their games on the road, and you were able to win back-to-back Super Bowls. That conversation is going to get very loud about him being the greatest of all time.
Yeah, Speaking of another, go ahead, Lou.
I was gonna say I don't see him as the GOAT. Not right now, and I mean, because even right now, for me, he's like third on the list all time for quarterbacks. For me, like he's number 3 on that list right now. So
who's 1 and 2 for you?
For me right now is Brady and Montana, man. Like those are the top 2 for me, and then you got Mahomes and
Peyton,
buddy, Peyton, yeah. So he's not the GOAT right now. Like his story's still being written too. Like you can't just throw him in that conversation right now, in my opinion, because he's still writing his story. And to be honest, hey, listen, you can't say Patty is LeBron. He's more Kobe because he's won more than LeBron. He's definitely more Kobe. He's won more than LeBron has.
Hey, Steezy, watch your mouth in the comments. Did Montana died?
No, he's still here.
Oh,
I think he meant as far as like legacy chasing.
Yeah.
That Pat is kind of on.
Lord, I thought he went on the glory. I was about to say, what?
Yeah, I think Pat gonna slide past Montana.
He gonna slide past.
Yeah.
I thought he went on yonder, yo. I was about to say, yo.
Yeah.
I'm missing all of these. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's crazy.
Hey, that is crazy, Mike. He has done this all before 30 years old too.
That is crazy. And I think that's the biggest thing is the age factor. People are just, a lot of this is like the age. From one possible greatest of all time to another. Travis Kelce, man, is Travis Kelce in that tight end conversation of greatest of all time? You know what I'm saying? Because you got your Gronk, you got, you know what I'm saying, Shannon Sharp, you got Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez. You know what I'm saying? We got Jason Witten.
No,
you got a whole lot of great Jay Novacek.
No, Witten's not in that conversation.
Witten is not in that conversation.
Witten's nice though. He was cold. Witten was cold.
Was dope, but he's
not in that conversation. He's not with them. No, he's not with them.
That's fine. All right. Would y'all say that? What is this smirking about, DJ? It's so annoying. What is
yes, he is. Yes, he is the greatest tight end of all time. I don't care how nobody feels about that. Yes, he is for sure. I'm sorry. He better than Gronk. I'm sorry. He better than Tony. I'm sorry, bro. Trav got the stats and the accolades to go along with it. or whatever. And if he gets this third ring,
so we think that he better than Gronk.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm taking him.
Look at shit. Not that shit.
I like it, and don't get me wrong. Like, no disrespect to Gronk. I think Gronk was a great tight end, and if anybody had him above Kelsey, like, I'm not gonna argue against it at all. But like personally, I just think Travis better.
Shout out to our producer Tristan. Shout out to our producer Tristan. What up, Tristan? He said it's Sharp, Kelsey, Gonzalez, and Gronk for him.
Yeah. To me, it's hard for me to say that Kelsey is and the reason it's hard is because the greatest of all time for me it has to be Shannon Sharpe. And the reason I say that is because he paved the way. Like, he paved the way for the rest of these tight ends. Like, he was like the first of that kind as the pass catching tight end. I mean, they did it, but Shannon was that one that was like, he took it to that level.
So just a little bit of
also he's a 3-time champion as well.
Real quick for y'all, just a little bit of history here. You're saying that the tight end position initially was not to catch passes.
Nah, they were blockers. They were like an additional offensive lineman.
They just got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I mean, you had them go out there every now and then catch passes, but it wasn't like he set the tone for what we're seeing now at the tight end position.
Because after Shannon, and I think Shannon Sharpe was first, and then Tony Gonzalez came after him, and then it went on.
Well, I mean, if you really want to go back in time, you could say like Kellen Winslow and Mike Dicker. Those
guys, you could,
change the game for what is Usher. But Shannon was like the pioneer.
He's the one that took it to the next level because, like, even then, like, you didn't have a lot of them. Like, you had the Kellen Winslows, the Mike Dickers or whatever. But Shannon was like, he's the one that ushered in this new tight end era.
Putting tight ends in the slot, lining them up one-on-one to the outside and all of that. Yeah, it was Shannon Sharpe.
Who's the greatest tight end for you, Shooter?
I'm going with Gronk. I felt like Gronk was better all around than Kelsey. But if anybody picked Kelsey, like DG said, I'm not going to argue it because Kelsey, he right there. You could go if you go Gronk and Kelsey or Kelsey and Gronk. It's just your matter of opinion at this point because you know what I mean. Kelsey deserves that recognition. I just felt like I like Gronk better because I felt like Gronk was better, more better all around than Kelsey was. That's just me. But
and it's
Coach B always got to throw a chart. He just always got to.
For sure.
Always got to.
No, but Antonio, he did. Like,
but
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a real hard conversation because when you really look at those 4 or 5, you look at Sharpe, you look at Gonzalez, because Gonzalez had a hell of a career too.
Yeah, Gonzalez was crazy too.
Yeah, you look at those dudes, and I mean, Antonio don't have like all the, or not Antonio. Yeah, Antonio Gates doesn't have all the yards. He got the tutties. Like,
he was crazy.
He was crazy for the tutties.
He's one tight end that I always talked about, Lou. Like, don't nobody really talk about how good Antonio Gates was, dog. Like,
and he was cold.
A dog.
Yeah. Having to face that man twice a year was rough.
I'm about to say DG, no.
And
Antonio Gates and Daniel Tomlinson used to torture us.
Yeah, like
that's why I hold Phillip Rivers accountable because I don't want to hear he didn't have no weapons. He had a Hall of Fame tight end and a Hall of Fame running back, and he couldn't win a Super Bowl.
That's
no excuse.
In the comments, real quick, it's too big for me to put on the screen. But Mike, what up, Mike Patton, touring the AFC South. Make sure y'all go and check out his podcast. Check out the show. It's definitely dope. Making
touring the AFC South,
major noise. Touring the AFC South. You need to do a tour of the NFC East. You might not get no, no viewers or nothing, but we here. He says crazy that Shannon was a wide receiver when he got to the league and converted to tight end, and that Antonio Gates didn't even play college ball.
No, he played basketball.
He played basketball.
He played college basketball. And got into the league and was, what I mean? But that's the same thing with Gonzalez. He played college basketball too. Tony G played college basketball too. So
I would want to go with Gronk, but I think if I have to pick a tight end, I'll probably go Kelsey. Just his ability to, he always got his quarterbacks back, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's one thing, if Mahomes don't know nothing else with his offense, he know that Kelce down there open. As long as I've played around in the pocket a little bit and I've extended it a bit, my man's is open down there, and he never fails him. There were times in that game on Sunday where there is no way those should have been catches from Travis Kelce, dog, and he caught those passes from Mahomes. After he danced around the pocket, created time, Kelce gonna find. There were times where I was like, "Come on, why is 87 even open?" You know what I'm saying? Something that I used to say similar about Jason Witten. He was always open on a 3rd and 5. For some reason, he always converted for us on 3rd and 5s. How do you not know to double or triple team him? Because that is where Tony Romo was going. That is where Dak is going. You know what I'm saying? We was playing. So he always there for his mans. I'll probably go Kelce. Gronk was just clumsy as shit to me, man. He just was big doofy at, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not a player trait. That's not like
that worked in his favor.
Come on, he was doofy as she was so man. That man would trip over his own. He always was falling. Like, come on.
His size was unguardable.
He was huge.
You know,
Gronk was crazy.
Huge. Yeah. Gronk was crazy with it. And not to mention, how many championships Gronk got? 4?
Got 4.
You got 4 chips. So you do have to take the chips. Except we're going to take chips in consideration with quarterbacks and wide receivers and everything else. When we have the tight end conversations, let's take chips into account there. This would be what, Travis Kelce's 3rd if they win?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would, you know.
My only argument is that we've seen Kelce play without Mahomes. We've never seen Gronk play without Brady. So we don't know how he looks without. I get that.
Yeah, but Gronk ain't want to though.
I get that, but Kelce ain't had a choice. Like,
it was Alex Smith. But the thing is that I think with the tight end though, is specifically like when you talk Gronk and like Kelce, like they gonna beat them. You know what I'm saying? They're going to find a way to elevate their quarterback. So I don't
think so.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is hard. It's hard to say that with Gronk just because we've never seen it. Like
That's
you
fair.
would think that he would elevate his quarterback, but there's also been times where so much credit has gone to Tom Brady on why Gronk is who he was.
Steve, he said he's tired of the USAA commercials. He
he gotta make his bread, dog.
He always asking for that USAA membership, man.
He trying to get that bread, Gronk.
Real quick before we go into the 49ers side of things, 49ers and Lions, because we really can't be up here. We probably can roll like another 20 minutes, y'all, and then we gotta be out. The Spags have the most underrated defensive mind. Let's keep in mind that he did stop the Patriots from like that whole undefeated thing.
I believe Spags was their defensive coordinator for both those Super Bowls. I want to say, I think he was their defensive coordinator for both of the Giants Super Bowls.
Just one. Yeah.
Okay.
Do y'all think he's the most underrated defensive mind in the league?
I would say yeah. I think because one thing DG would always tell me is, you know, when the playoffs came around, Spags would turn it up. And that was one thing DG always told me. He said, you know, during the season, they just be, you know, figuring out, trying to wrinkle it out. But every time the playoffs came around, you notice the Chiefs' defense has always came to play. And Spags,
that's true. Now that I think about it, that's true.
Yeah, Spags be dialing it up. So I would definitely say he's underrated, and he definitely deserves more flowers. He needs to be in that echelon where you probably could say he's the best defensive coordinator in the league. He should be in those conversations.
Because even when you think about the 07 Super Bowl, like when we talked to Vinny and Chef about those Giants teams or that Giants team, how their defense wasn't that good, but they got into the playoffs and their defense just turned the hell up. And so, I mean, he's one of the defensive coordinators nobody really talks about. Nobody really talks about him, to be honest. And I think also when you look at the Chiefs, this is their first year really with a top 10 defense, top 5 defense. Yeah. You know, in the regular season, usually it's the regular season and they get into the playoffs and they kind of, you know, figure some things out, make some noise. But this year, you know, I think that's where he's getting a lot of the noise from this year. So, but he's been there. Like, we've seen it for the past the past 6 years or whatever. Like, we've seen what he's been doing with that defense in the playoffs. So, I do think he's pretty underrated as a defensive coordinator.
Shout out to Charger Coach B, who says, I don't believe he is. He's elite when he has his pieces. Would y'all agree?
Charger Coach B is crazy.
I mean,
I'll let DG answer that one.
I mean, I think that Spags is, throughout his career has had some up and down units. But then again, like it's hard to coach when you don't have star players and guys that can go out there and be playmakers on the field. So you do need that perfect combination of playmakers and a great mind to put those playmakers in the right position. And I think that's what Spags and the Chiefs organization has been able to do. They just got the perfect combination. Our defensive unit this year, I think, has really bought into his philosophy and what he wants to see from them. And you can just clearly, I don't know if y'all saw the shirts on Sunday, you can clearly tell how much they love him with the In Spags We Trust shirts and things of that nature. They talk about him all the time or whatever, and he's gotten those guys to really buy into what he's telling them. And when you get to the playoffs, man, the playbook just it opens up a lot more. We start doing a lot different things, and I think that's kind of what Lamar kind of struggled with on Sunday was some of our disguises and the pressures that we brought just kind of threw him for a loop, and Spags just
y'all's defense. I mean, I cannot talk enough about how good that defense was Sunday. And Tristan says the only elite piece that he has is Chris Jones. This is brilliant coaching. Not too much on Darius Sneed. Not too much on Sneed.
I disagree with that.
Not too much on Sneed.
He got two corners.
Sneed is good, man.
Elite corners.
Man, Chris Jones sucked.
McDuffie and Sneed are elite corners. Yeah. They're elite corners.
Nah, DG know what I'm saying.
Nah, yeah, I know why you're saying it here. Nah, I think, man, as far as the elite pieces, man, if you haven't really sit back and watched L'Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie and what they've been able to do,
McDuffie too, yeah.
Those guys, not only are they great, have they been great cover corners this year, but I think they're also some of the most best tackling corners in the league. We just got guys that buy into physicality, especially this year, and our corners are not afraid at all to come up and play in the run game, hit you, knock you off the line or whatever. We in our secondary, we got dogs, man. They really go out there and they're ready to hunt. Justin Reed has probably had his best year here. It's been a very underrated year for him, and I think that's solely just because being in the system again for another year. He stated it in training camp earlier this year that they were going to be a special unit just because of the experience that they had and also the camaraderie that they had on that defensive unit this year.
See, listen to that, DG. Imagine wanting to give up on young players after being, in a system for 1 year. Imagine that. Imagine letting them, get that experience that first year, and let's see what they do the second year in that system. I don't know who will ever think about a thing like that.
Who are you taking a shot at?
The Colts fan base.
I just wanted him to put a name on it. I knew who you were talking about. I just wanted you to put a name on it, bro.
They just want to throw our whole defense away after all these rookies only been in this system for 1 year. Yeah. Like let them be in there for a little bit. Let them get that experience.
We talk about all the time how they want it quick. We talk about all the time how folks want it quick, Lou.
But my thing is give them 3 years, or even just let them be in the system the second year. We saw Kenny Moore the first year with Gus Bradley. He didn't look that good. Second year with Gus Bradley, Kenny Moore is back being in those conversations as one of the top nickel corners. So I mean, it's just a matter of time letting them get used to a new system, new techniques and all that.
So let's
stupid ass fan base.
Let's head over to the Lions and 49ers game. 49ers come up with the dub after being down 17 at one point. You know what I'm saying? Down 17.
Look at Young adjusting his hat. Like, yeah,
let me tell y'all something. I was sitting with this man, you know what I'm saying? And he was actually relatively really calm. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gotten to the point where he knows his team. Once they put together a nice little drive, that's likely going to keep you let the Niners get rolling, and that's a bad situation. Again, heading to the Super Bowl via the NFC Championship against the Lions. Lions dominated that first half of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like it was very spooky in Santa Clara.
Now that's a collapse.
That's true. That's a collapse. Like very spooky in Santa Clara, man. I was like, oh man, Detroit might really be going back. But then, as I have talked about all season, specifically the last couple of weeks with Dan Campbell and this coaching, that the decisions you make in a regular season, forget making them in the playoffs. I knew that you can't play with the 49ers like that. That was my biggest thing. Is don't go in here playing with Kyle Shanahan and who's y'all defensive coordinator?
Steve
Wilks. Don't go in there. We saw on 2 separate occasions, 2 4th downs where he refused to kick the ball, where he decided to go for it, and both 4th down conversions failed, leaving 6 points on the board. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe we go into overtime if he had taken those points. Maybe they're up a point or two. You know,
they might win the game.
Yeah, about to say they probably win the game if they had gotten those 6 points, right? Because they ended up tying it, right? You win the game if you. Dan Campbell, man, we talk about the inexperience for players. That was a mark of inexperience for coaching with Dan Campbell. So, I mean, we kind of already know the answer to this question. Did he cost his team a trip to the Super Bowl? I think absolutely. We talked about the percentage that you would put on the players and on the coach. I think that Dan Campbell probably gets about 90% of that.
I was about to say he get 90%.
He get a lot of that. That's the that entire game is basically on Dan Campbell.
Yeah, they changed up a lot in the second half of that game. They stopped running the ball as much. They started to try to put it in Jared Goff's hand, and that's one thing you should never do with Jared Goff. He's not a quarterback where you should put the ball in his hands to win a game because that's not his style. He goes off the run game and the play action. As you saw in the first half, Jared Goff was killing us because the run game, Gibbs and Montgomery was gashing us. So when he coming off them play actions, you got people running wide open down the middle of the field. In the second half, they went away from running the ball and tried to put it in his hands, and it gave us a chance to get back in the game. Like he said, I was calm. Because I'm the whole time I'm like, yo, we down 17 going in the half. We just got to come out strong in the second half. The game ain't over. We ain't come this far to lose.
I just can't believe Dan Campbell. I just.
And I knew he was gonna go for it. She was saying the whole time. She was like, they was like, yeah, I want them to go for it. I did. I wanted Dan Campbell. I'm like, please go for it, because you ain't gonna kick the field goal. Because that's like she said, that's what he want to do. And as soon as he went for it, I'm like, he not gonna get this. And he went for it again. And I'm like, he not gonna get this one either. And once he didn't get that second one, I said, we're gonna win this game.
It kind of reminds me of the Warriors, kind of in the sense of you live by the 3, you die by the 3.
Yeah, that's a good analogy, DJ.
They can come back, and then Dan Campbell's coached like that all year. I don't blame him because that's the way, if that's your philosophy, that's your philosophy. But if you go for it, you better get it.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Them boys is the Orlando Magic with
Let me ask y'all a question.
Nelson.
Let me ask you a question. We got to keep the same energy because I remember people in this chat and I remember people in the Sports After Dark Twitter spaces ready to blow a gasket over these kind of antics with Brandon Staley. And Brandon Staley should go. And Brandon Staley should do that. But simply because Dan Campbell has gotten a franchise that hasn't been there forever. There's a whole lot. Simply because
it's
Brandon,
different.
and Dan Campbell has gotten a franchise that haven't been there forever. Folks is kind of like, he got him there, so well. But when Brandon Staley was doing this kind of stuff on 4th downs in the same territory and blowing games like that, it was off with his head. Why is the energy different?
It's different because Dan Campbell isn't taking those chances on his side of the field. He's taking those.
I think he took a chance closer to it was kind of near the 50, but it was still in.
But no, it was in plus. It was in plus territory. They could have kicked the field goal there.
Yeah,
they could have kicked the field goal there because I know which one you're talking about. It was the second time they went for it. To where when he could have kicked the field goal to tie the game, and it was like it should have been like a 40 or 50-yard field goal, and he didn't go for it. But they were in plus territory. That's the difference for me is where it's like, and I'm not saying he's smart for doing that. I don't think he's smart for doing that. I think he's pretty dumb for doing that actually. But the thing is that we saw Brandon Staley taking it on his own 20-yard line. Like you taking chances on your own 20-yard line. That's stupid as hell.
That's stupid.
Like it's stupid as hell.
I mean, either way, the results are the same.
No, they're the same.
Your team the game,
but
you costing your team the game. The result, I understand the nuances behind it, but at the end of the day, you're costing your team the game. And that's not the first time we've seen him cost his team the game.
Yeah, but my thing is, so the one out of halftime to me is bigger than that one that he went for later in the game when he could have tied the game. And the reason I say that is because they were up 24-10. You go up 27-10 by kicking that field goal, that's a little demoralizing coming out of halftime. Not only that, but then at the end of the game, that last drive where he chose to run the ball with like a minute left, when you have 3 timeouts, right, and you're on the goal line pretty much, throw the ball.
Chargers made the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah, Chargers made the playoffs. But you throw the ball there, you don't run the ball and start draining down clock because you need the ball back. And so you run the ball trying to say, oh, well, I'm just going to go for the onside kick. No, either you kick the field goal right there or you're throwing the ball to stop the clock if it's incomplete, or you get a touchdown. And you save those timeouts so that way when you get back on the other side of the field. But
the Chargers made the playoffs last year.
They lost to the Jags,
The Chargers made the playoffs last year. What are y'all talking
Trevor
about?
Lawrence threw 4 picks.
Y'all don't remember that the Chargers made the playoffs?
Last year.
They
made the playoffs last year.
I'm talking about the people commenting saying that the Chargers
they made it last year. Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions and they came back.
They came back and won the game.
But those are the 2 instances that I say are worse than that last field goal or that last go for it try. Those 2 situations I think were the ones that killed them. And then that fumble by Jahmyr Gibbs was huge. I think that was a backbreaker right there because that really allowed the 49ers back into the game.
That was. Do y'all consider, we gotta kind of roll through these. Do y'all like aggressive play calling or conservative play calling? Like, because I think it sucks because if you're aggressive,
exactly, DG.
What you say?
That's what I like.
I like smart play calling.
If you're aggressive and it turns out right, you're a genius.
Mm-hmm.
If you're aggressive and it's boneheaded, if you're aggressive, if Dan Campbell call those and he convert, he's a genius. This is what, it worked and they're gonna be aggressive and it's always 4th down territory with the Lions and blah 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 blah. If you play conservative, then it's like, oh, it's the playoffs. You leave it all out there on the line. You're in hostile territory. You're trying to put the game away. Why be so conservative? It's kind of like damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Nah, just be smart. Like
you just gotta you gotta be smart more than anything.
They let analytics come too much into football, and it's
I agree.
Analytics is good, but they've let it come too much into football to where they're just doing things off of analytics rather than the flow of the game.
And you got to read the room, man.
Exactly. My thing with Dan Campbell, you saw your defense wasn't stopping anything. Exactly. You saw your offense was sputtering. Exactly. And instead of keeping momentum on your side and taking field goals, you decide to go for it and you put yourself in an even bigger hole. Like that's an issue. That's not understanding the flow of the game and how the game is going.
Yeah, you got to read the room.
You can be conservative at times and you can be aggressive at times, but you got to be smart when you take those chances.
Or you got a coach where it's like, I got to have this type of moment, type of play because I need to get back in the game. Yeah. And you either punt the ball off and it's like, come on, bro. In that situation, you got to go for it. If you're going to have any chance to swing the momentum of this game, in this moment, it's like you got to go for it. You can't, it is like, I agree with you saying, shooters, like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. It's just more like understanding where you are in that moment, like Lou said. In that moment, you knew your defense couldn't really stop us at a point. Your offense wasn't moving the same. All right, let me take these points because then I'm still stretching the lead out. Or then you got a moment is like, damn, I got to get back in this game. I know it's 4th and 5 and we on the 40, but damn, if we get this first down, it's going to give us momentum and maybe we score and change the whole tide of the game. So that's the tough one. That's the tough one.
I remember at one point when y'all were stuck at 7 points, and I think me and you were talking about like do Kyle go for it or does he just kick the field goal? And I remember saying, just kick the field goal to at least have the player see something more than 7 points on the board. Or maybe that was the Ravens game because
that was our game. You was right.
Like the players need to see more than 7 up there. Like just go ahead and kick the field goal, move the numbers up. And like y'all said, sometimes a field goal is enough to be like, all right, let's turn this up a little bit. We're inching closer and closer. So, but I'm standing like by what I said, like it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. We've been, huh?
Oh no, I was gonna say it's like when they say shooters shoot, right? And then if the ball ain't falling, get to the free throw line. Because you got to see that one go in to maybe continue to get that momentum. It's the same thing. The field goal, just kick it.
Yeah.
Unless you really need points, then
and most of the time, we know the way that's football go. Most of the time, that shit come back to bite you in your ass at the end of the game. Like that's what the stats and that's what the stats and the analytics don't show is that it come back to bite. They need to have that at the end of the stats. If you don't take this, it's gonna come back to bite you in your ass at it because we see it all the time. That's what they don't show you on the stat sheet. So I'm like, just like you said, just go ahead and take it. You were in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you still was in the game. You wasn't trying to claw from behind at a historical rate to try to find a way to win the game. Like, grab the points, man. You got to grab the points. Let me ask you this, DG. I'm coming to you. Can the Lions run it back next year?
Yeah, I think they got a good core. I think they got a good thing going on. They drafted really well this last draft, and also I think there'll be a lot of excitement and buzz in that city because the draft will be there next year.
And Ben Johnson is staying.
Yeah, Ben Johnson.
He is not leaving.
I think that kind of lets you know that they're determined to try to run this thing back.
Facts.
Again. I think defensively they might need to get a little bit better. Some more pieces on that defensive side, just because I think that there's some positions on that side that they're kind of lacking from, especially that secondary. That secondary's gotta get better. I think that was one of the main reasons why Heaven was able to come back. The receivers just made plays at the end of the day. So I think they can do it. They definitely got the offensive talent to do it. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a star in this league, and I think Laporta is going to be a monster. I literally think he's him and Kincaid to me are the next in line after Kelsey to really kind of take over for that position. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. Anybody else want to add in on that?
I'll say that I'm with DJ. I think they could run it back. The NFC is not strong, if we're going to be honest. And if they bring a lot of their talent back, like DG said, if they show up that secondary, they'll be around again. They could run it back. There's only like 3 teams in NFC. You might can add the Packers in there now. I think the Packers will be around next year. If Kirk Cousins go back to Minnesota, you might could throw Minnesota in there. But the NFC relatively isn't as quarter dominant as the AFC is. So the Lions definitely have a stronger chance to running back in the NFC if they keep that core around. So I would say, yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. And I'm trying to look up something right now because I don't think they have a lot of free agents going into this offseason. That like we talked about earlier, their team is relatively young. Like they're a young team. They drafted well, Jared Goff. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, he still has one more year, I think, on his rookie contract. But their defense is their front 7 is relatively young. Like DG said, they need to shore up their secondary, which they can do in free agency. They can do that in the draft this year. There's some good corners in the draft coming out that they can help shore up that secondary. I think they can run it back. I don't know if they make it back that far because again, it's hard, bro. Like it's hard. And you can't expect that you're the only team that's getting better.
Sure.
The Packers, like Young said, the Packers are going to be back, and that's another young team that got some playoff experience. And they know they can win. They know they can win. Jordan Love knows he can win in this league. And then you have I don't think the Vikings going to be bad next year.
Yeah,
like I think they got a ton of talent, ton of cap space, and they just need their quarterback. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's going to be tough to get back there, but I think they can make it back to the playoffs. I think again they still trust Dan Campbell. Ben Johnson's back. I think they can still make a run at it.
We got to wrap, so we're gonna just go to the other side of the ball real quick. which is the 49er side of things. Purdy, man. I don't think that Purdy's a game manager anymore. I think he's like a
Glock Purdy.
Yeah, he might be like
look at my baby giving my boy his
player changer. Maybe he's a player. I don't know.
Player changer.
I don't know.
Glock Purdy with the 30 on
John Wick out there, man.
Yeah, listen, he ain't Glock Purdy and all that. Let's calm down. He cool for you. He ain't around the house. But he ain't all that. Let's
she said he house protection. He ain't nothing to go out.
But I will say this. One of the biggest things that I talked about was making sure that Kyle ran the ball. And there was some times in that game where I was a little afraid that he was going to abandon the run. And he didn't. You know what I'm saying? He stuck to his guns, with CMC being a big reason why, Brock was some things opened up for Brock, being able to move out of that pocket, create some good throws. There was some throws that was a little like, Brock, what you doing? Specifically in that first half of things. But you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of times when we saw Brock like, man, I'm running. You know what I'm saying? I'm picking up the first. I'm doing what I got to do. Let me ask y'all this just to look forward just a little bit. Purdy or CMC, who's most important for the 49ers Super Bowl success? I'm going to start with you, Shooter.
Purdy. Got to be him. We're going to win the Super Bowl. He has to have he has to have the best game in his career. We go by him. As you can see, if our offense, when he's not doing good, our offense doesn't do good. It's crazy to say that because before the quarterback we had before that, it was all right. If he could just get the ball to our skilled players, we'll be all right. But Brock gotta make stuff happen. He has to. Like even in that game, you saw he had to make plays for us to get back in that game and to win that game. So I would say Brock is most important for sure because the Chiefs, they got a great defense. However, you even though you got Kittle, CMC, you can't stop everybody. But Brock got to do his part to get them the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I would go with Brock.
I'm gonna go with CMC. I think that you're gonna get your best version of Brock if CMC is doing what he's supposed to be doing and Kyle is making sure that he's touching the ball. That's when you're going to get your best version. We said about every quarterback, especially about quarterbacks that you're just not 100% about. You knew with Tom Brady, you're okay with putting the ball in his hand at a dangerous time of the game because he's Tom Brady. He's going to dissect defenses. He didn't need a running game. He's going to literally surgically move the ball down the field in the air. We knew that he could do that. And there's other great quarterbacks, of course, with that as well. But I think that you're going to get your best version of Brock Purdy if CMC is like his handprint needs to be all over the game. That because it takes so much off him. Quarterbacks don't want to be in a position when the game is all of them. They want help. They want a great running game. Patrick Mahomes, as great as he is, I'm pretty sure he is loving the life with Isaiah Pacheco. You know what I'm saying? Taking some of that off of him. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you're going to see your best version of him. If CMC come to play, I think that he is imperative. I think he hasn't been imperative to y'all team, like you told me before, since he stepped on the field. Coincidentally, has never been hurt. Has he even missed 3 damn games since he's been with y'all? The man missed 3 seasons in Carolina. Shout out to Simba. Sorry, Simba. That man ain't missed 3 games with the Niners. He missed 3 seasons with Carolina. That man was faking the whole time. He's faking. And I would like to say, CJ Gardner-Johnson, that stiff arm, that is too close to Black History Month, brother. It was too close to Black History Month for you to
white man run the ball.
I want to know who he was talking to because he said "shut up, pussy" to somebody, and I want to know who he was talking to. If he was talking about
CJ Gardner-Johnson?
CMC said.
Oh, he said that to one of them.
I don't know who he said it to, but I'm saying if he said it to somebody, like this, it's too close to Black History Month, my brother.
Hey, CMC be talking crazy to people on the field. They don't be catching it sometimes. You got to catch it. But you be talking crazy to him.
I caught it because it was after one of the runs and he got up, he walking back. He was like, "Shut up, pussy," and I'm like, "Hold on, let me rewind this."
I wouldn't be surprised if he was talking.
He probably was talking to CJ.
He probably was.
He was going. I mean,
but I was like, "Let me rewind this," and I recorded it and put it on Twitter. I was like, "Did CMC really just say that?"
Well, I mean,
he's talking crazy.
He said to Brock Purdy. Can I just say this? And I hate to be this person, but having those two as the face of y'all's franchise is crazy. Shoot, I ain't gonna lie.
Who?
The fact that Debo and Ayuk ain't at the front of that, it's kind of crazy to me, DG. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, Ayuk had his hands all over that game too.
It's just too close to Black History Month for me. And George Kittle, like he y'all spokesperson and all that. It's the same thing with Kelsey. You know what I'm saying, DG? You know what I'm saying? It's too close.
Hey, man.
Let the black folks shine on Black History Month, man. Come on, man. I'm gonna need Chris Jones to step in for the Super Bowl hype.
What about Pat?
Pat too. Yes.
Senior the spokesperson. Senior the
Senior, yeah.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yeah, I like him. He is hilarious. He's hilarious.
He was smoking that Lamar pack.
Who y'all think is more important, Lou and DG? Make it quick. We got row.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's CMC. Purdy still got to do what he got to do, but CMC makes his job a lot easier. Purdy did a lot of the things that Lamar should have done in that game.
Hollywood is hell, dog.
Only half.
Right.
Only half is crazy.
But yeah, see, I'm going with CMC. I think Purdy still got to do what he got to do. He still got to get the ball to the playmakers, and he does that. Like he does a good job of doing that, and still making some big time throws too. So, but I think CMC has to get going because you can't be one dimensional against the Chiefs. You got to be able to do everything.
I agree. I can't wait for us to preview the Super Bowl because I got a lot of questions. I'm gonna just watch some film and I'm gonna have a lot of like questions on how you stop this, how do you prevent this, how do you do that? Like this is gonna be a good game. DG, go ahead.
I think for me it's Purdy, just because more of on the side of the mental chess match that's probably gonna happen in this game. How will he be able to handle that? And I think he's going to have to rise to the occasion. I think getting CMC in rhythm will help him with that. But I think it's going to come down. Purdy's going to have to make some plays at some point, to help them win this game. And if he does that, then they'll be hoisting a Lombardi.
Real quick before we go, we appreciate y'all for being here. We appreciate y'all for tapping in to Sports After Hours. DG, we appreciate you for tapping in with us and talking some ball with us. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you are tapped into our Twitter page, Instagram page, to our Twitter community. Make sure that you grab some merch just for the hell of it. You know what I'm saying? Yes or no question before we leave. Do you believe the NFL is scripted? Do you believe in the NFL script? No. I don't. Yes or no? I say yes or no, right?
No. Everybody wore that Ravens and Niners Jones about to go down. I'm like, watch this curveball come. It's gonna be a curveball.
They only curveballed it because people was on to them.
Right. I do believe that it's scripted, and I have.
You do?
For a long
I
time.
don't know if it's scripted, but maybe manipulated by refs.
Now I'll say manipulated. Now
yeah, I can say manipulated for sure. Yeah,
I think it's manipulated for sure.
I think that they do have a way of being able to, sometimes you have some teams that just play above. You know what I'm saying? Like what the refs try to help with and all that. I do think that it's manipulated a bit, even more so because betting is involved. Like if I ain't believe in the manipulation before, I damn sure believe in it now. Because
if that's the case, if it's scripted, DG. Then all this shit Patty Mahomes is doing is fake. It's a facade. I don't want to hear no more about it.
He's really not that good.
He's really not that good.
And also, if it's scripted, I would just like to know when the hell is Dallas going to be scripted in to win a championship?
Oh, my life.
I told you when that man go to the upper room.
All right, okay.
Real rap, DJ.
Rap, like I'm sorry, he cursed y'all.
Super Bowl until he go,
he cursed y'all. He said it on a mic'd up version. He said, I asked the man above to give me that third one, and I never asked for anything else.
That's crazy. All right, man. Y'all heard him here. Man. I believe to an extent. DG believe. Lou and Shooter.
I think it's manipulated. I agree with you.
I do think it's manipulated, though.
Okay.
I agree with you on that.
All right. Well, look, we appreciate y'all again for tapping in. Look, we're gonna run a space later this week. we got to start shifting in or transitioning into NBA. And I'm really excited about that. Yeah, I know we coming to the end of football, Lou. Sorry, you know what I'm saying. But
I'll be doing
obviously it's more football to be had, kind of, sort of after. Shout out to all the Pro Bowlers for this weekend.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Pro Brothers replacing my dogs that ain't gonna be there. I mean, I told y'all
hold on.
You know what I mean? I told Judah that the Cowboys players was gonna replace us. I tried to tell him.
Listen, all the Pro Bowlers. Shout out to all the Pro Bowlers except Gardner Minshew.
Damn, that's crazy.
Come on,
I still don't know how the hell he made the Pro Bowl.
He's a Pro Bowl QB.
DJ is disgusting. He's a Pro Bowl QB. DJ is disgusting.
I thought he'd be excited about that.
That boy is an alternate. He's an alternate. He ain't no Pro Bowl.
Oh, QB. Damn, Shooter. UNC just lost.
You know the crazy thing was I knew we was going to lose this game because we got Duke next. So I had a feeling like we was going to lose this one because we looking forward to y'all. We lost by 1, so it's all good. Yeah. We'll get it back against Duke.
All right, y'all. We got to roll. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. Y'all know the vibes, my guys. See Lou, have DG. In the meantime, in between time, see y'all on the timeline. We rolling out the Big West once again. Holla.
To be honest, I'm Giannis inside of Game 6. Dropping 50 and dunking over your main. Earnhardt Jr. when I'm deciding the lane switch. Tell them people that I'm on top of the game. Manifested my future by spewing all of my pain. Carry my own umbrella, surviving treacherous rain. Landed on higher learner, matriculating the bigger earnest. Switch left the dark, helps you to find your purpose. To find what work is, to find the surface. When deeper in it, I'm heavy with ashes, burning curses. Built up our name so forever.